Here's how I'm doing about the day. It is March the 4th, 2020. I'm on Arrington-Bey, and I'm exercising in Annapolis, Maryland at Arrington-Bey. I had some odd experiences at Burger King. This customer, black male, looked about 6'4". He was speaking to the regulars that implied being connected to the United States Navy and Army. His name is Charlie. Anyway, he came in and he just kept pointing his finger at me as he speak. He kept talking. He said, I want this on my fish sandwich, and this, I want the deal. He kept saying the deal, and he was just like saying in an aggressive manner. He got like really aggressive in his tongue, and I tried to repeat him on me. He said, no, you listen to me, just trying to cut me off. Or he did cut me off. You would think he was talking to a man. And then, remember, and I'm telling you, this black male is about 6'4". And I just, backed away from the register because he was speaking aggressively, and he was coming close to the register. And I was like, sir, I need to repeat what I said. He was like, you're not listening to what I'm saying. He kept pointing his finger like he trying to show some form of authority, and kept speaking about a deal. I backed away, and I humbled myself. I said, sir, I'm trained, I gotta repeat what you say to make sure it's right. And he said, you don't have to back away from me. Or something like that from the register. And I thought it was odd because once again, it seemed like some customers, just a few days ago, I think I remember it was Friday, I noticed it. There's two announcements on the next to the office at Burger King that I think CJ, the owner's son, put up. And one of them is about respecting the customers. And I hear my co-workers at Burger King all of a sudden use the word customer. Because a customer can come in and act outrageous and really make a big deal out of something. And if you're not able to articulate what's happening, or thank goodness there's cameras, they can say you said something, because I've had that done, especially those that seem to be connected to the United States Navy and Army, or are communicating with those that are under status of black or African American, that are regulars that sit at the table that are connected to the United States Navy and Army or Marine, or implied to be by wearing different items or driving the cars with the license plates. Then another black male came in and he was talking low, and I was trying to speak up, because you know how you're talking low when you try to, how when men try to come on to a woman and they lower their voice. Another black male came in as a customer, and I spoke up to speak, and he got upset. I was like, sir, you say you want this? And he said, you don't have to say that like that, because he was trying to talk really low. I couldn't understand. And then when I spoke up, he said, you're supposed to be nice to the customers. I said, I am. So what? I said, sir, I'm speaking English. I just wanted to make sure that we are communicating, because you're talking, and he was like, you're supposed to be nice to the customers. Then after that, another male came in, looked to be Asian or mixed with Asian and pale skin, and he had a cell phone, and he kept speaking about taking someone out, and he actually kept using the word Joe, and a thought was triggered, because I'm at Annapolis, Maryland, in Arrington-Bey. The general manager here is named Joe, and he was like walking around back and forth. I'm trying to think, did he order anything? I don't think he ordered anything. I think he just came back and forth. He was walking back and forth, and he kept saying, taking someone out, Joe. Like he was on his cell phone. And then I thought, I was like, well, that's interesting, because the general manager here at American Student State is named Joe. He's a pale skin guy, unless he claims a nationality. Now, I'm not connecting this with American Student State. I'm giving testimony. So this is in correlation to CJ, the owner's son, which is Janelle. She is Chinese American, and the pale skin Carl, unless they claim a nationality, I don't know, hanging up the announcements about respecting all customers. So I was like, now, because too many times I've documented how customers have said one thing, well, I know what happened, and they have went back and communicated with the manager, Miss Phillips, who, once again, when I tell you these things, because I think her husband was in the Navy or is in the Navy. This has nothing to do with that. I overheard her talking. I don't know for sure. But I did speak to, maybe a week and a half ago, James, because there was a jar or a container that had Air Force, where it was a lot of times right there in front of my register. It didn't have the Burger King logo. And I was like, why is this here? And no one told me for about, I don't know, 5 to 6 months, no manager or anything. And people were coming in, putting money in, change. And they would say different things sometimes and do different motions as they did it. But it didn't have the Burger King logo, but it had the military Air Force on it. And I thought I saw James with a hat that said Air Force, but it could have been Army. And so I asked him about a week and a half ago, I said, were you in the Army in the Air Force? I said, Air Force. He said he was in the Army. Now that's interesting because just a few days ago, I think it was Monday, it was Monday, a black male came in. He had on the Army uniform. I think it said Army, and he came in last week as well. I've seen him before a few years, constantly. Not as much as I've seen others, but I've seen him, and he was actually talking about some regiment. He was communicating with James, the manager, the black male manager. He's about 6'3", 6'4" as well. These are big men. And actually, they were actually having a conversation. I don't know exactly what they were saying because it sounded like military terms. But as I turned around, because I started to notice the military terms, it sounded like he said regiment. I think he could have said something about platoon. I'm not sure because I don't know the military terms. But when I turned around, James walked away and ended the conversation for whatever. He said, okay, and he walked away. So these are the things that I found odd. Just a few moments ago, as I was coming in here, I had a force-plotted thought the way back today. And someone sent a telepathic thought forcefully and said, your schedule, okay? And I know it's forcefully done. Because so when you're not paying attention, what they do is use these spirits to invade your sheaths. And that includes your frontal sheaths, your cranial sheath. And if you're not paying attention, the thought can be your thought if you're not studying yourself. So and I realized it was a plotted force thought, but I continued to get on the treadmill to exercise. I started to feel sharp pain in my foot. And then a commercial about USAA, that credit card that they use, that bank, appeared on before the video as a advertisement. And I noticed that happens sometimes in references when I give testimony about the United States military or those that apply to be connected to it who have not taken an oath or affirm to uphold possibly. Okay, possibly, I'm not sure. The constitutional laws of freedom, the U.S.A. Constitution of 1787, the 13th Amendment with 20 sections, and all four of Abraham Lincoln's proclamations. This morning I woke up and, like I said, it still seemed like someone's talking outside and around the room. I kept seeing a visual that looked similar, like the co-worker manager, Thomas. It's similar. I'm not saying it is him. Big, about 6'2", very dark skinned male, the spirit, unclean, demonic, voice engaging. And my genitals were being attacked a few times. But I continued to get up and meditate, morning exercise. And it's not because actually the strength is knowing what's going on. There's bumping overhead, and as there's bumping, I just felt another sharp pain on my foot. And that's interesting because the United States is not considered civilized in reference to physical health. And so many times those implied to be connected to the United States Navy and Army also imply to send sharp pains to the joints, or definitely mental engaged. And so I started documenting because I didn't understand spiritually what I was experiencing. But these are acts of terrorism done on the mental plane that is not seen on the physical plane, because they have the science of telepathy that Arrington-Bey and I run the Arrington-Bey reject. As Moorish Americans, Hebrew Muslims, naturalized true citizens, because we affirm to uphold the United States Constitution of 1787. These are divine laws of freedom, the 13th Amendment, 20 sections, and all four of Abraham Lincoln's proclamations that our forefathers and many soldiers in their righteous state of mind fought for in freedom and bled for. But we're among those that are definitely opposite of that. Everything is seen and known for a reason. Anyway, so once again, the testimony has nothing to do with American Extended Stay at all. I'm not connecting to saying that Joe was involved in any of this, the general manager or any of the employees here. I'm just giving testimony. I don't even think that guy that looks to be Asian and pale skin mixed, I don't even think he ordered anything. I really can't remember, but I definitely remember him walking back and forth in front of the cash register on his cell phone and saying those words more than once, enough for me to look more than twice and say, okay, this triggers a thought. I'm Moorish American Nation. I'm thankful we as Moorish Americans encourage physical health, which is connected to mental health. We also encourage those divine laws of freedom to have to take an oath or affirm, which is naturalization, according to Article 1, Section 8, Clause 4, to get back into the constitutional fold, Islam, that so many have bled to uphold. So many soldiers, Islam. Anyway, so I'm gonna stop the video now. I'll do one run. I did a run earlier. I've been on the treadmill for now about 30 minutes. I'll do 2 runs, and then I'll stop the video. I have to go to earn money at Burger King today. It's about 7:30 a.m. Oops. Yeah. So I set this for 40 minutes. So hold on 1 second. Quick start. So it started to slow down. So it slows down about 5 minutes till. So I set it for 40 minutes. So I've been on the treadmill for about 35 minutes. Mentally right now, someone sent a telepathic message saying USAA. And it sounds like someone is outside the room said stop. I'm not sure. Could be wrong on the physical plane. And many foreign nations are in the top 10. United States jurisdiction is not even in the first 30. And too many statistics in reference to physical health, which is connected to mental health. So there's 30 other nations that are considered civilized and educated in physical health, which is connected to mental health more than the United States. our Moorish American nation encourage physical health, which is connected to mental health, and to eat according to the chemistry of our bodies. You have to claim a nationality to be a part of a nation. That's why Moors separate the United States jurisdiction, corporate, from nations who respect nationality. African American, black, white, pale skin, Hispanic, they are not nationalities. Corporate means a company, corporate. So you're not considered to be a part of the human family or in the constitutional fold if you have not claimed a nationality. I don't know if there's anyone at Burger King who has. I've never gone on that level with them, besides telling Janelle that I am Moorish American in reference to wearing my Moorish American national headdress the first 2 months, and she told me that I had to stop because she received complaints that I was wearing it. And this was after the regular black male Charlie, who wears emblems that say Navy, that sit at the table and come in almost daily. I'm not connected to Janelle, the owner, with this, but I'm just giving testimony. That day, he told me not to touch his hand and to place all the money on the counter. I think, I mentioned it, and I told Janelle about it, and told Janelle about how he acts odd. I didn't know so many of them that came and sat there every day almost, for hours at a time, were connected to the Navy and the Army. I had no idea. But I did see one lady, a pale skin, with a license plate that said Navy 1. So I had an idea about her. But I never communicated or had a conversation with her about it. So that I remember. I think I asked her about the flags, because she used to have two so-called American flags on each side of her truck as she drove in the Burger King almost every day and sat there. I used to see visuals. And my genitals were being attacked, experienced sharp pains, and still do. Still to this day. Even that day that I spoke of when the black male kept pointing his finger. It's Mom, I'll talk to you later, Dwayne. Anyway, that's when the conversation with Janelle came up. She said she considered herself Chinese American. I said, oh, okay. And I told her I'm Moorish American because I was speaking about my Moorish American national headdress. She said I can't wear it anymore.